The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, says his administration will continue to collaborate with investors to improve power generation, transmission and distribution in the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu made this comment when he received board members of Eko Electricity Distribution Company at the Lagos House in Marina. Take a look.
Board officials of the Eko Electricity Distribution Company and its investor group, WPG, visit Lagos House, Marina, to meet with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to discuss how to improve electricity in the state. The Commissioner for Energy, Mr. Larry Odushote, gives a brief on the state government's plan for the energy sector.
When we started this journey almost 4 years ago, we started with a consultation paper, which we shared and discussed extensively with the EcoDisco on ways to move the sector forward. It was really in fulfilling Mr. Governor's mandate or his directive that we ensure that we get universal electricity supply to everybody in Lagos, meaning electricity when they want it and where they and in the quantity that they want. The outcome of that was the policy paper, which stated the short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals of the government. We then worked together on the integrated resource plan, which evaluated all of the resource needs to fulfill Lagos State energy demand. Included gas supply, included embedded generation. It also included the grid infrastructure gaps. Grid infrastructure meaning transmission and distribution infrastructure gaps, which we worked on with EcoDisco. The power supply from Lagos to Lagos State today is about 1,200 megawatts peak from the grid and about 4,000 megawatts from diesel generators scattered along all over Lagos. That market for diesel generators is money that EcoDisco is leaving on the table. So we think we can still work together to capture that market back into the formal grid. It's cheaper for our customers. I think we've demonstrated that we're losing about 3 trillion just from allowing that market to continue to exist by itself.
The EKEDC team, led by the board chairman, Mr. Dario Tubo, explains the steps being taken to ensure stable power supply for residents.
ECO has over time constantly thought through innovative ways to overcome challenges, and one of the ways we're happy to inform Your Excellency is that companies currently in discussion with NEC and relevant stakeholders to ensure going full bilateral to reduce the generation shortage and grid constraints, thereby improving power supply to the good people of Lagos State. Very soon, we hope this materializes and the effect is felt by the people of Lagos State. We are happy that the Constitution has been amended for the state to join in regulating the power industry. We'd like to bring to Your Excellency's kind attention some of the areas that can help us as a DISCO to actualize this agenda. As we know, the push by Your Excellency's administration was motivated and strongly driven by the vision to steady the power supply in Lagos and to engineer further human and physical development through it. We want to propose the following to ensure that seamless implementation of the representation of the achievement of the overall goal is intended for this state. Firstly, we urge Your Excellency that while proposing the state regulatory structure and for the power industry, you should kindly consider the current structure and the investors that have thus far invested into this sector to avoid any negative impact on your new regulations. We are saying here that you should please try and also consult us so we can help you out in such an area. Secondly, we know and appreciate Your Excellency's regarding the need to collaborate with NEC and necessary stakeholders to achieve the great goals of improving power supply in the cities of Lagos State. Hence, we urge your good advice to kindly work with all stakeholders within the power sector to develop a workable policy, be it generation people locally, be it transmission people locally. We should try and work with them to achieve that. Thirdly, besides the above, we recognize the potential for partnership and collaboration to reignite the Lagos State power agenda. Therefore, we assure Your Excellency what we're saying here that, over the years, Lagos has pioneered the power project. Lagos is the one that pioneered this whole bill for it to materialize. So we want to make sure that continues. Now, we are hoping that we can provide grants and financial assistance to companies in the areas of metering. We've realized that one of the things about revenue actualization is metering. That's the last end of collecting your money. So if we can do that, it will help improve the industry. We realize also that without gas, we're going to have problems even powering the power plants in Lagos. So we are hoping that the Lagos will help intervene. We are doing our part also to make sure that we have enough gas into the state, because without gas, we can't power most of our plants. CNG and coal are quite expensive and will affect our consumers. One of the problems we have is energy theft. We need assistance of the government for the judiciary to make laws in place, like mobile courts. Because, when people are selling energy, it makes actualization of this dream very difficult, because we have to pay from the beginning of the chain to the end of the chain. So we hope those mobile courts will help in when people know that when they don't pay, they are being penalized. Everybody needs to pay, and then when you take loans for those projects, they know that they'll be paid in the future. Land for Ecodisco and TCN. We thank you first of all for the land you gave to TCN for their substation. To make this dream of 24-hour power reality, we need to build more substations, and we need more lands within your network to make all these actualized dreams come possible. So we come for you for different lands. We thank you for the one you give to us right now for TCN, so they can begin to build their substation. We also need to create a cost-reflective tariff. Now, one of the things that stopped this market from growing was lack of reliable tariff. And we feel that this is a time that Lagos can take its destiny in its own hand and put tariffs and create what I call an infrastructure fund, whereby you can use that fund to move the market forward. With that fund in place, we can begin to do more transmission work, buy more meters, do more substations, and grow this whole industry itself. Next one is to put a bankable financial framework. I know the governor is a banker and can do all that, but we are here to support him in that dream of making that a reality. We also need to make the ideas of permits and right of way for projects quicker. So that will also help in our area there. Also, with NEC, they are told us that we must have some embedded power in our network. We at ECO have started doing that. We have over 40 megahertz coming up in VI right now, and we're planning to do more within our network. So we're coming back to the governor to give us support, and our partners here also, WPG, they are talking with a company right now to bring a 200 megahertz power ship into the waters here also. I think with Seplat, we're still undercover to do that also. So on both sides, we are thinking of a way to increase power in Lagos. What's important is this. Our vision is that we can give Lagos 24-hour power. We are doing that right now in some estates in Lagos, and we feel we can do that in an organic structure, step by step to do that. So we want the governor's support to help us actualize that dream. We shall make sure that before you leave, if not half, 3/4 of Lagos will do 20 hours of power.
Then Governor Sanwo-Olu expresses readiness to partner with investors and distribution companies on sustainable power.
We all know that the gaps are there. The system, the industry can, and indeed will do better, if we all, work collaboratively, which is where we are now, and all of the regulatory, issues, that hitherto had embedded, slow down this sector. We're committed to ensuring that we can remove them, and we can create, a serious win-win situation. Because it's only when all of this, has happened that indeed we can see our economy thrive very, very well, and people get the sense that the right people are doing this job. So once again, it's to wish you the very best. Ecodisco is to also say that there's a lot that is expected of ourselves, yourselves and ourselves, and people want us, to be able to ensure that we can improve the quality, of power in their various homes and offices, and we can create, a more climate-friendly environment. Diesel generators and the rest of it are not the way to go. There are other cleaner energy, and there's so much fund, around the world that we can use to demonstrate this. The bottom line is that our people out there cannot, continue to not understand why we cannot do this. It's a technology that is on the shelf. It's nothing new, and it's something that we all need to just. There was a minister that was seated here yesterday, and they were all talking about, how can they support us, in all sort of, cleaner energy, renewable energies and rest of it. The World Bank last week is all the same thing that everybody's saying. Why can't we not, push, our energy, shortage right now, and why should it be a problem? So we are both, on the same page with that. You've asked for specific things which, like I said, we should be able to do. We should be able to work together on energy theft, on land, that is required to increase, the capacity of substation. A lot of the investment you have also said, ensuring that you can have embedded power in it. These are some of the things that we, having, fast, ROWs when you need it. The conversation around how do we ensure that Lagos has, the right gas, interventions, and all of that. What do we need to do, pull people in Abuja and other parts of the country to be able to ensure that that works. And you've talked about partnership. It's so important. All the stakeholders that are currently working, we cannot on our own stay away and say that we know it all. No, it's that partnership that we need to formulate and cement and ensure that we carry along.
This renewed partnership between the Eco Electricity Distribution Company and the Lagos State Government is to ensure issues of power shortage are resolved as soon as possible.